When I was a kid, just finding out about black holes for the first time, I thought they'd be a much bigger problem than they are. Turns out, they haven't impacted my life too much. But what if a black hole were right next door to us? It's more than science fiction. The truth is that black holes may be much nearer than we think. Don't worry, there isn't a cosmic vacuum cleaner hiding behind the moon. But today, we're going to dive in and meet the 3 closest known black holes to Earth and explore a non-confirmed ultra-close candidate. How were they found? Do these black holes threaten us? And what would it mean if a black hole truly was in our cosmic backyard? Let's dive in. For decades, the title of closest known black hole belonged to an unassuming star system in the constellation Monoceros, the unicorn. It's cataloged as A062000, also called V616 Monocerotis, and it lies roughly 3,300 light-years from Earth. That's about 20 quadrillion miles. Definitely not a weekend road trip, but in the vast Milky Way, it's relatively close. This system harbors a stellar mass black hole around 5 to 6 times the mass of our Sun. Paired with a small K-type star, only about 1/3 of the Sun's mass. The two objects whirl around each other astonishingly fast, completing an orbit every 7.7 hours. In other words, the star is practically skimming right above the black hole's grasp. So how did astronomers find this black hole? Unlike many black holes, this one isn't dark all the time. It occasionally flares up. In 1975, V616 became the brightest X-ray source in the sky during the massive outburst. What was happening is that the black hole was gulping down material from its companion star, heating the material to extreme temperatures. This causes an X-ray nova, a sudden blaze of X-rays. By studying the orbital motion and the amount of mass needed to cause such a bright flare, scientists realized one of the objects had to be a black hole. In fact, by 1986, they had confirmed that V616 Mon's unseen companion was indeed a black hole. For many years, this was our nearest known black hole. It's even the black hole that received a special radio message broadcast in memory of Stephen Hawking in 2018, chosen because at the time it was the closest one we knew. In 2022, our cosmic neighborhood got a new visitor, or at least we became aware of it. Astronomers sifting through data from the European Space Agency's Gaia Space Telescope stumbled upon something strange. Gaia precisely measures the positions and motions of stars, and one particular sun-like star in the constellation Ophiuchus was wobbling ever so slightly, as if tugged by an invisible partner. That invisible partner turned out to be a black hole, and not just any black hole, but the closest one ever found. Meet Gaia BH1, located about 1,560 light-years from Earth. In cosmic terms, that's right in our backyard. For context, 1,560 light-years is only about 0.5% the diameter of the Milky Way galaxy. Gaia BH1 is a stellar mass black hole roughly 10 times the mass of the Sun. Despite the black hole's huge mass, it's packed into a space only about 28 kilometers across, essentially the size of the city. Imagine a sun-like star over 1.3 million kilometers in diameter, dancing with an object only 28 kilometers wide, but with 10 times the Sun's mass. It's a cosmic waltz of the improbable. Unlike V616, Gaia BH1 is a dormant black hole. It isn't actively feeding on its companion, so it emits no X-rays or visible light. It was truly invisible until Gaia's instruments noticed the companion star's tiny motions. This discovery was a big deal. It proved there must be many more quiet black holes hiding out there, potentially closer. In fact, Gaia also uncovered another black hole called Gaia BH2, about 3,800 light-years away, making it the 3rd closest known black hole. BH2 orbits a red giant star in a longer 3.5-year orbit. We won't dive into details on that one, but it's part of the same new family of Gaia-discovered silent black holes. Gaia BH1's record as the nearest black hole is secure for now, but that his work wasn't done just yet. In 2023 and 2024, even more discoveries were brewing. The second closest known black hole is Gaia BH3. discovered in 2024 during early analyses for Gaia's next Gaia release. It lies about 1920 light-years from Earth, not much farther than Gaia BH1. But in some ways, Gaia BH3 is an even more remarkable beast. This black hole is a real heavyweight. Its mass is estimated at 32.7 tons the Sun's. That makes it one of the most massive stellar origin black holes ever found in our Milky Way. For comparison, most known stellar black holes are between about 5 and 15 solar masses. Astronomers were stunned to find one this large so close by. In fact, black holes of about 30 solar masses had only ever been observed indirectly in other galaxies when they crashed into each other, detected via gravitational waves. So Gaia BH3 provided the first direct evidence that such massive black holes exist in our galactic neighborhood. Gaia BH3 orbits with a companion star, just like BH1 does, but the companion here is very different. It's an ancient yellow giant star that has only about 76% the Sun's mass, but it has bloated to nearly 5 times the Sun's radius. This star is old and metal-poor, suggesting it and the black hole might be extremely old, perhaps on the order of 13 billion years. The pair likely originated in a now-dissolved star cluster or stream that orbits the Milky Way's halo. They take a leisurely 11.6 years to orbit each other, on a much wider and more elongated path than the BH1 system. Visualize a star wandering the equivalent of our solar system span, bound to a monstrous black hole that weighs 30 suns, yet is no larger than a small island in size. It's a mind-boggling scenario, but it's real, and it's the second closest black hole system to Earth that we know of today. Just like BH1, Gaia BH3 is a dormant black hole. It isn't actively devouring its companion, so it's essentially invisible aside from its gravitational effect. The discovery of Gaia BH3 has scientists excited. Some even called it a unicorn discovery because it hints that many more such hidden heavy black holes might be lurking in our galaxy undetected. Current theory predicts our galaxy should be teeming with black holes that we haven't found, possibly tens of millions of them formed over the Milky Way's life. Now, we're finally starting to pick up their faint whispers for missions like Gaia, one wobbly star at a time. Now for the big question. Are there black holes even closer to us than Gaia BH1's 1560 light-year distance? So far, none have been confirmed inside that radius, but tantalizing research hints that some might be hiding practically right under our noses. In late 2023, a team of scientists announced a startling possibility. There could be 2 to 3 black holes lurking in the Hyades star cluster, which is only about 150 light-years from Earth. In cosmic terms, that's just down the street. That Hyades is the nearest open star cluster to us, in the constellation Taurus. The researchers ran simulations of how the Hyades stars move, and found the best fit was achieved if black holes were present at the cluster's center. In fact, the data could be explained either by a couple of black holes still inside the cluster, or by black holes that formed there and were kicked out but remain nearby in the general vicinity. If this ends up being true, those black holes would easily be the closest black hole candidates to the solar system by far. At 150 light-years away, they'd be 10 times closer than Gaia BH1. However, it is important to stress that this is still speculative. No one has directly observed these Hyades black holes yet. Their existence is inferred from the gravitational effects on the cluster's stars and simulations. So what would it even mean if a black hole were only 150 light-years away? Should we be scared? In reality, even a black hole that close would not have any noticeable effect on Earth or the solar system. The black holes proposed in the Hyades study would be stellar mass, a few times the Sun's mass, and they'd be sitting in a star cluster 150 light-years away. At that distance, their gravity doesn't influence us here on Earth. They would be interesting, not dangerous. But the mere possibility of it is thrilling. The universe might be a bit more crowded with black holes than we knew, even close to home. Our tour of the closest black holes to Earth reveals a couple of important things. First, close is relative. Even the nearest black hole, Gaia BH1, is over 1,500 light-years away, which is an enormous gulf by human standards. We have nothing to fear from these distant dark neighbors. To them, our entire solar system would just be a speck. So, for now, Earth is safe from black holes, but they do captivate us from afar. The idea that a monstrous warp in space-time, a place where light itself can't escape, is right next door on the cosmic scale gives quite a rush. It reminds us that the universe still holds many secrets. As we continue to peer into the darkness with better telescopes and clever methods, we'll undoubtedly find more of these hidden gems. Each new discovery, whether it's 1,500 or 150 light-years away, brings us a little closer to understanding the mysterious life and surroundings of black holes. In the end, the closest black holes to Earth aren't the danger, but a wonder. Silent sentinels of the cosmos, quietly teaching us about the dark side of our universe. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more content from Stellar Quest every couple days. I'm looking forward to seeing you around.